What's going on, guys? My name's Theoatrix and welcome to Oldschool Runescape Tips and Tricks episode 3. This episode has a heap of different tips, a couple for Iron Man at the end, and a couple of pretty obscure ones, so I'm pretty sure you guys will learn something, so let's get right into it. So the first tip for today's video, let's say you've crafted or fletched a full inventory of something and you're doing a skill at a bank. Once you open the bank, the fastest way to deposit everything without depositing the knife or the chisel or whatever tool you're using, if you go to the bottom right and right click the exact bottom right of the item, you can right click and left click deposit all instantly, and you don't have to move your mouse at all. You don't have to right click and go deposit all. So this also works with gems. If you right click the bottom area, you can right click, left click, deposit all. Now, one of the best food items that you can have in your inventory are strawberries. Well, baskets of strawberries, and the reason for that is a basket taking up one inventory slot can heal you for 30 health because one strawberry heals 6. Now that actually comes in very handy with things like Slayer or even bossing, obviously not on bosses that can hit a lot, because baskets of strawberry are only about 700 coins for 30 health healed. So that is way cheaper than sharks, anglerfish, sarabrews and restores. Beauty of it, you can right click and remove one while you're in combat as well, and you can just eat them as you go. And if you have a full inventory of strawberries, think of how many times you could just keep removing one. If you find that your bank's getting a bit on the full side, you can actually use your house to store a lot of items, and it's not like your house is really going to go anywhere. Now, by building a costume room in your house, you have access to all of these different construction items that you can store different things in. For example, the toy box, you can store a bunch of different holiday items. The wardrobe stores different armor sets and skilling equipment, but things like hunter gear that you don't really wear a lot, put them in your house and come back here whenever you need them. The next tip of this video is you can actually talk to these tutors here, the magic and the ranged one. Can you toggle my ammo to equip when I pick it up? So what that means, if I attack someone and I pick up their ammo, it goes straight into my ammo slot. So that's so useful for pewers that don't have Ava's accumulator while they're PKing, or even for anyone while they're training. The magic tutor isn't as handy for lower level players, but if you pick up runes while you have a rune pouch in your inventory, the runes will go straight to that rune pouch if that same type of rune is in the rune pouch. I'd imagine that to be very, very handy for things like neckrail tasks, which drop a lot of death runes and blood runes, which you use to use blood burst and blood barrage. So I have 2 more tips to show you guys in this video, but these last 2 are more directed towards Iron Man. Of course, they'll still work on regular accounts, but this is obviously going to help an Iron Man a lot more. If you're on an Iron Man and you ever need to get to Edgeville, it can be hard because you need a high crafting level to make an Amulet of Glory, or you need to complete Desert Treasure to teleport there. But a cheap and very easy way to get there, which only requires level 42 woodcutting for the stable dugout canoe. You can really simply just teleport to Lumbridge, run to the canoe station here, make that canoe. But yeah, that's just a simple way to get to Edgeville. Now, my final tip, if you're ever in need of a magic boost, especially on an Iron Man, Wizard Mind Bombs give a +3 magic boost. Now, in Falador, you can talk to Emily here, and she will serve you 1 of each drink. But if you go to the bar in Berthorpe and you trade Tostig at the Toad and Chicken, who the hell would go to that pub? You can buy 12 at a time per world instead of the 1 where you have to go through the chat box to get. So you can buy a heap of these and proceed to cast your alchemy or whatever spell you're trying to do. Anyways, guys, that's all of the tips for today's video. Over the past week, I've been working pretty hard on some Android apps for Oldschool RuneScape, mainly ones targeted at newer players for when Oldschool Mobile comes out. These apps are only available on Android at the moment. It's so much cheaper to be able to put an app on Android. You have to pay quite a bit to put it on the iOS store. But we will get there one day. If you want to have a look at the apps I've made and give me any feedback, I'd really appreciate it. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video, and as always, have a nice day.